Would you pay $7,200 American to get a VIP package to go see Metallica? That's what we're going to talk about today. Friends, Brian here for Yes You Can Play Guitar, and I want to talk about Metallica's new VIP packages. Up to the Lux Eterna package is $7,200 American. Now, where I'm from in Canada, that equates to about 10,000 Canadian dollars. Just want to talk about it, and I want to stress right from the beginning, I have nothing against Metallica. Yes, I'm one of those guys. I was a fan in the 80s. I liked Metallica up until around the Black album. They had some good stuff on that album, but they kind of lost me after that. Not blaming them, not blaming me. It's just the way it is. But they're a hard-working band. They're going at it. I don't know how, with the money they would have now, they still keep the motivation to keep going. I guess it's just part of being part of the big machine, I guess. But if I was 60 years old and I had the money they had, I'd be like, okay, I'm out of here, man. It's been a slice. Let's get a nice cabin up on the lake. Nice truck. The gym in the cabin, walk around patio with a nice barbecue, walk-in freezer, that kind of thing, And I'd also have big skylight where I could look for UFOs and aliens every night. But that's just me. Nonetheless, they're a business. They do fantastic business. I'll always have a special place in my heart for Metallica. I would have wished I could have seen them back in the 80s. But, I don't want to be one of those guys. I'm just going to talk like average Joe today, okay? So it's come out about Metallica. Their VIP package goes up to $7,200 American for their Lux Eterna package. You can't blame Metallica for doing this. This means that there's people out there willing to pay that. Metallica's M72 tour has insane VIP ticket packages for sale. Okay, so let's take a look at it. So it looks like Metallica, the reformed Pantera, is going to be on it. We're going to do a video about that. I did a reaction video. A lot of people are really ticked off with Zakk Wylde. We're going to get to that in another video coming out soon. They have Mammoth, so I believe that is the project with Wolfgang Van Halen, Eddie Van Halen's son. Five Finger Death Punch, Ice Nine Kills. Okay, so they have some tiers of different packages here. They got the Nothing Else Matters Snake Pit Experience. This is on certain shows, I guess. Price includes ticket to both shows in the same city. Okay, so I guess you're seeing two shows. Price varies by market, okay. One backstage meet and greet experience with two members of the band, which includes a photo taken by the tour photographer and a group conversation with members of the band. Band members will vary show to show, so that doesn't necessarily mean you get to meet everybody. So different things here about, production tour led by a Metallica crew member and onstage group photo. Okay, well, getting to see their setups and everything would be pretty cool. One ticket to the Snake Pit, exclusive standing section, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I know what the Snake Pit is. Party with other Metallica fans both nights. Okay, so, well, you're going to meet other Metallica fans anyway at the show, but okay. Complimentary beverages as well as appetizers and bar snacks. Show-specific posters, one autograph set list. They are packing a lot into this. So then they have the Moth into Flame. It's an even bigger VIP package. Or no, it's not. Okay, it's a little bit more condensed here. This one's a bit cheaper. One MP3 download of the live audio from both shows. That's pretty cool. Express lane at a designated merchandise stand. So that means you don't have to wait in line to buy You don't have to wait in line to buy merchandise. Spend your money faster. Guys, again, I have nothing against Metallica. They're brilliant, not just musicians, but brilliant business people. People are obviously going to pay for this. Hey, if people are going to pay for it, why not, right? One, enhanced experience. This one's getting a little cheaper, okay? $803 US dollars to $1,100 US dollars. One premium reserved seat in the first few rows. One, okay. Party with other Metallica fans, blah, blah, blah. One limited edition Metallica merchandise item. One MP3 download live audio. Okay, so there's some cool extra stuff here. Frantic early entry GA package. Okay, $414 US to $598 US. Okay, 1 general admission floor ticket, 1 limited edition Metallica merchandise item, complimentary beverage prior to public doors. Okay, so you get to drink before people come in. Priority merchandise shopping prior to, okay. So they have these different packages. But now we've got the Lux Aeterna. Lux Aeterna is their new song. No, I haven't heard it yet. No, I'm probably not going to do a reaction video to it. I just, you know, I got nothing against them. I just don't know how interested I am to hear it. Okay? $7,272 US. That it equates to about $10,000 Canadian. Do you know what you can buy for that? If you're a guitar player, you could buy a wicked guitar, a nice half stack, you know, some effects, some pedals for that, wireless. That would make a really nice guitar setup. You could buy a decent used car with that. There's a lot of things you could do with your money other than that. But again, obviously people are willing to pay it. So let's look at the Lux Aeterna platform experience. 1 exclusive viewing platform for a private group of up to 8 people with an unbeatable view for both shows in the same city. So this could be a little confusing. Does this mean that you're going to be put into a platform with 8 other people that you don't know? Or can you bring 8 people with you? So if you can split the $7,200 8 ways, well, that is a little bit of a game changer. That makes it a little bit, definitely a bit more reasonable and affordable. Platinum beverage cooler stocked with complimentary beer and soft drinks. Okay. Access to the official Black Box pre-show lounge, which includes 3 complimentary beverages, as well as appetizers and bar snacks. Okay. 1 limited edition Metallica merchandise item for each member of your group. So if this means you can bring up to 8 people, including yourself, I guess, pre-order your concert merchandise and have it delivered to your platform. Okay, that's pretty cool. On-site perks such as priority check-in, dedicated support staff, and fast-track lane into the venue. That, my friends, would be cool, because if you can do that and not have to deal with the lineups and all the other silliness that goes on, if you had your parking paid for and you had a little pass to show the parking attendant and you go to a special area, meaning you can go in and leave quicker, there you go, Metallica. I want a royalty for that if you take that idea. I want $1 for every time someone pays for that. Okay? You heard it here first. That, for me, is one of the biggest things why I hate going to live venues is the parking. Getting the parking and then waiting forever for people to leave. I remember many years ago I went to see the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. It was cold. It was in December, and it was at an arena that holds about 20,000 people. It was an NHL arena. And leaving, trying to find parking. Actually, finding the parking wasn't too bad. They had people pointing you to the different... It's a massive parking lot, but leaving, you're there waiting for 2 hours to try and leave the parking lot. Not fun. That's one of my biggest deterrents from going to see some of these bigger bands live, okay? So, it sounds like you're getting a lot of stuff. It sounds like, I could be wrong, but it sounds like you can split the price between people, which would make it, for the average Joe, a lot more interesting, reasonable, okay? But now let's talk about the human side of this, okay? I touched on this in a reaction video I did not too long ago. With these bands, okay, there's a magic that we have with some of these bands. Metallica will always have a special place in my heart. Some of their music back in the 80s helped me get through some hard times. Some of the songs, the riffs, the solos, very, very special to me. Very magical. There's something about when you meet people you look up to or people that are very important. It's great if it's great, but if it's a disappointment, you're crushed. Now, you guys, I didn't talk about it a lot when I started my YouTube channel, but for a few years when I was out of music, I was a competitive powerlifter, social media lifter. I was jacked. In my late 40s, I was deadlifting well over 700 pounds, which was a little weird. You don't see that a lot in that age bracket. I was sponsored by different companies. I'd been to different events, different expos and stuff. And at one point in time, I met someone I really looked up to. He was a former Mr. Olympia, a very popular guy. And this is when I was just kind of getting back into it. This was back in 2014. He had a lineup of people all waiting to, with hundreds of dollars waiting to buy his creatine and protein powder of his supplement line. And I thought, I don't want to meet him that way. I want to meet him a different way. And I met him in the lobby of this fancy hotel I was staying at that was attached to the convention center where this big event was. Now, this is before I was sponsored. This is before I had as small of a name as I did. This was before I had any following in that industry. And I met him in the lobby. I was very convenient. I went up to him. I was very polite. I said, hey, Mr. Da-da-da-da-da, it's a pleasure to meet you. I know you're busy. Can I just have a quick picture with you? The guy was such an a-hole. I don't even want to tell you the whole story because it's very heartbreaking. And I just remember how rude he was. And I was crushed. And, I remember a few years later, I was at the Arnold Classic in Columbus. I was huge. I was jacked up. I was massive. He was retired. He wasn't as big anymore. But I remember walking right by him, looking at him, going, fuck you. I couldn't stand him. But in his videos and his media, he keeps portraying himself as the fans are everything to me. The fans are everything to me. He's got a big mail order business. He's still quite popular, but he was a total... And that feeling I felt for days after meeting him and being treated like that, it's something I would never want to see any of you guys go through. Why am I telling you this crazy story? Because one of the things with these bands and these VIP offers, these VIP promotions, it's harder and harder for bands to make money. They don't make money from album sales that they used to. They don't have record deals that they used to. Spotify, how much money do bands, make on that? I did a cover song and I did a video to go along with it. It's on Spotify. It's more of a metal shred version of Ha's Take On Me. I have it on Spotify. I didn't do it for the money. I just did it for the fun. I'm saying, hey, I did a cover. It's on YouTube and I have it on Spotify. Probably no one's bought it. I don't care. But, the bands don't make a lot of money from streaming and sales anymore. They have to tour. They have to go out and play. So they're like, hey, you know what? These VIP packages, this is a way for us to make more money. Okay. But what I'm trying to tell you guys, it's a job to them. So sometimes when we love these bands and we have these places in our heart for them, I mentioned the band that I wanted to go and see. I'm hoping to have the lead guitar player. I have some special stories about him. He meant so much to me. And, but do I want to meet him at a VIP meet and greet where, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being a fan, going to meet them, getting a picture taken. You're helping support the band. But, it's still a job to them. I believe that, there's genuine, cool people in bands that love meeting their fans. I had a great conversation with Rob Arnold of Chimera the other day. Now, Chimera's no more, but Rob was truly a really cool guy. I believe that he would love to meet his fans, that he would love to, have a VIP thing and actually really want to do it. I believe that about David Ellison. When I interviewed David Ellison, he was a great guy. He gave me a lot of his time. He did stuff he didn't have to do. But a lot of these guys, it's a job. It is a job. Sometimes you meet these celebrities and they're smiling to your face and behind your back, they're giving you the finger. It's a job to them. You're going, hey, I'm going to go meet so-and-so. And a lot of them are like, oh, God, I got to go out and do this for 2 hours. I just want to chill out and relax. It's very sad. I'm not saying Metallica are like that. I think Metallica do have a genuine care and a love for their fans. I think they have gone above and beyond for a lot of their fans over the years and doing things more so than a lot of other bands would do. I have nothing against them for charging this money because it means that people are willing to pay it. If people are willing to pay it, what's the harm? My thing with this stuff is, sometimes VIP packages, they're forced to meet their fans on those terms. The fans are paying, whatever. It's still a business transaction. I've always wanted to meet people that I really admire on neutral terms or on my terms. I had a friend. He was part of the Metallica fan club or whatever, and he won some promotion on a radio station. This is back in, I'm going to say the late 90s. He got to meet Metallica. He actually got to meet James Hetfield and Jason Newsted. The same thing. You've probably seen a lot of the videos. People line up. They come out and say, hey, how are you doing? That's cool. But to him, he said, they were nice, but you could tell it was a job to them, right? I've always told myself after I met, that individual who was a former Mr. Olympia, who was the biggest a-hole I had ever met in my life. If something ever happened in this crazy world, if I ever happened to become even pseudo-famous, which I really don't want to happen, that the thought of that terrifies me. You know, when I was in that industry, I had a very small following, very small. But, you know, there was times I'd be working at different gyms in the United States and people would know me and then come up and take their pictures with me. It was weird. I don't want to be famous. I'm a creator. I like to discuss things and talk about things and educate people about music and, you know, but you never know with this YouTube thing what's going to happen. In the event, if that ever happened and someone came up to me and was talking to me and they weren't being rude, they were being polite and respectful, I would never want to treat someone like that. I would rather, you know, eat a bullet than be really rude to someone who's just coming to say, hey man, I like your videos. For a lot of these people, they get very desensitized. I just don't want to see people get hurt. I don't want to see people have expectations and then get crushed. You know, I'm sure Metallica, they're very professional. And I'm not even really talking about Metallica. There's some, you know, bands out there, they legitimately hate their fans. And it shows in how they treat people. I wouldn't want to be like that. And I would hate to pay money to go meet a band, but realize, are they really being friendly because they want to meet me, or are they just being friendly because I'm paying? You know, it's a trade-off. It's a business transaction. I didn't mean to get this deep, guys. I just don't want to see anyone ever get hurt. If you've got the money to pay for these packages and you really want to meet the band, and go for it. Have a great time. Just remember, when you're paying these prices, don't forget the hidden prices. You know, the cheap shopper guy in me is trying to tell you, remember, you got to pay for fuel, you got to get your food, you got to pay for your accommodations. But if you can afford it and you want to do it, great. Obviously, people are paying for it. But just remember, for a lot of these people, when you meet them, it's a job. You know, you're just, you know, one of thousands of people that they're going to meet on that tour in the VIP packages that, you know, you're just another face. That's just the way it is. If you can accept that and you're cool with that, great. There's something about that always kind of bothered me. Anyway, guys, I wouldn't pay $7,200 to meet anybody. I don't care if it's the Pope. I don't care if it's the president. I don't care if it's the prime minister. There's nobody that, to me, that would be worth, you know, paying $7,200. Now, it might be worth hiring my favorite band to play at my birthday party. That I might consider, you know, then I'd have to provide lighting, sound, production, and everything. Something like that might be cool. Hiring a band to come play at your birthday party or something. Now that would be cool. Anyway, guys, sorry I've rambled on. What do you guys think? Would you pay $7,200 to meet Metallica? Comment below. Keep the comments and suggestions coming. Remember, practice hard, practice smart. We'll see you soon.